A political battle along party lines is threatening to overshadow the Prime Minister's meeting with the Premiers tomorrow, instead of the traditional focus on policy issues. The Prime Minister has rejected claims from Liberal states ahead of the meeting that the carbon tax would cost jobs. But they say they're not going to stop pushing her on the issue. Political correspondent Tom Eagleton reports from Canberra.
Jetting in for a dinner date in Canberra with the Prime Minister. Tonight's informal gathering is part send-off for one state premier who's attending his last COAG.
It is. I actually went to my first Premier's conference as a staffer in 1978 when Malcolm Fraser was Prime Minister.
Back then, party political bickering was the norm. Signs are it's about to make a comeback.
I think that the people of Australia will be really angry if tomorrow's COAG is turned into some kind of barn dance with Liberal versus Labor.
No, it should be a case of COAG cooperating for what's best for the country, and a carbon tax, given the current global circumstances, a carbon tax given its impact upon jobs and families, is not the way to go.
New South Wales Treasury modelling made its way into a Sydney newspaper on the eve of the meeting.
Her carbon tax will cost 18,500 jobs in the Hunter and 7,000 jobs in the Illawarra.
Victorian Treasury modelling made its way into the press too,
showing that 23,000 jobs will go in Victoria alone by 2015 under her carbon tax.
The Prime Minister says it's part of a coordinated attempt to hijack tomorrow's Premiers' conference.
But this so-called modelling does not take into account the billions and billions of dollars allocated through the carbon pricing package to protect Australian jobs.
And she's indicating she's not in the mood to entertain ambit claims for more compensation for individual states.
I will be saying to the state premiers and to the chief ministers, now is not the time for the playing of petty politics. Now is not the time for falsely raising alarm and concern.
But Liberal premiers were unrepentant.
There's been virtually no discussion with the states on the carbon tax proposals, and it has very big impacts on states. There are some quite specific points. Overall, I think you can probably divide it on Liberal and Labor lines.
The Liberals could be joined by one Labor voice who's likely to face an election early next year.
I've made it clear. Queensland wants to see a better deal out of the carbon package. I'm going to keep negotiating until we get one.
Sorry, I'm cold. I didn't get a jacket. I'm from Darwin.
Others, though, are finding more warmth in the carbon package.
The compensation actually leaves most Territorians, in terms of electricity prices, just slightly better off because we did make that switch 25 years ago. And I'd urge the other Australian states to look at gas and switch to gas from coal.
As the Prime Minister looks for support from her state colleagues, she's continuing to stand by one of her own in the federal parliament. There have been more revelations about embattled MP Craig Thomson. Police have confirmed they were approached by someone claiming to be a union official with a complaint about Mr Thomson's behaviour, but investigations haven't gone further for lack of substantial evidence.
Did the Labor Party bail you out of bankruptcy to save the government?
No.
Did the Prime Minister know any of those details?
I've got nothing further to say, thanks.
Let me indicate again today I have full confidence in Mr Thomson.
Labor colleagues are also backing him.
There's only one politician at the moment who's been charged by the police. It's not a member of the Labor Party.
That's a Liberal senator charged late last year with shoplifting. Tom Eagleton, Lateline.